good morning. A little later in the morning here, got up to speed on a bunch of stuff. Here's the Mustang that I picked up before we left last week. So John's been going through that, just looking through what he has for parts and what he doesn't have for parts and what we're gonna need, and familiarizing himself with the vehicle. So yeah, so that's what's going on there. The Camaro, they have the transmission and engine in now. Corbin's in the middle of making a cross member for the 4L80E. We're running into header fitment issues. They did call the manufacturer of the headers, and they said it's real common for people to have big blocks in these Camaros with small block engine mounts. I guess the pedestals are different. So we have the big block pedestals coming for it to see if that makes any difference. Other than that, the car's coming together. So that's looking good. Dave's working on one of our shop trucks. We had a technician, I think Oscar brought it in last week to do the rear brakes. Somebody had called the rear brakes on it, and then he found the axle seal was bad. Went to do the axle seal, and the little pin that the little bolt pin that holds your cross pin in the carrier, that you need to remove that bolt that has a pin on the end of it to remove the center pin in the spider gears to be able to push your axles in to pop the C-clips out. Well, that bolt was broken and it was all turned and peened inside, so we had to get a new carrier for it, so it needed a new posi. So now it's getting an upgraded posi so we can get this thing back on the road. Yeah, went from brake job to axle seal to new posi rear end. And this is our most used shop truck. So we need to get it back on the go. So Dave's been working on that this morning. We haven't been able to get all the garbage out of the back since we used it last and this happened. So I had the torch fired up earlier to get it apart, so I'm just trying to look for the carrier here, see if I can show you anything. So here we go. So he's got the crown and pinion out and the carrier here. So yeah, he got it apart, but he had to torch it apart. So there's the pin, that's what I was looking for. So that's what was stuck in there. And yeah, so he's just getting it all cleaned up, I'm sure, and getting parts figured out, as the pinion seal was leaking too. So we're doing all the seals and some bearings, and basically it's getting a rebuild diff at the end of the day is what's happening there. So let's head over here. Fan shroud built for the Camaro. So there's holes in the back behind the flaps, so when you're up and down the highway it can blow right through. But when you're not, they just kind of suck in and let the fan do its job. So we just do those in-house here. The Toyota, they did flash it, but only for a second. They wanted to make sure that it was getting crank signal. It is getting crank signal, so sometime soon we'll do a startup video on this. And then over here we have the 57 we worked on a while ago. This is built elsewhere. The brakes fell apart on him, got gouges in his wheels. So I don't know if you've been watching for a while. This was a few months ago. He wanted a different steering column, so we got him a different steering column. He wanted different Dakota Digital. This one had I think the RTX, which is the nicest looking gauges when it's off, but functionality isn't the greatest because it's just little bulbs that light up for your gauges. He wanted a needle style gauge, so we went to, I think, the VHX and ordered him gauges. So we're doing different Dakota Digital, different steering column. And then Bernard has just found a bunch of crazy stuff with the brake pedal. They side loaded, mounted the push rod. I have a picture of it, I'll pop it up now. So we just had the customer in to go over that with him, and Bernard's back on the steering column there. So it's a super nice car. Just has some quirky things that need fixed. So it's got the LS3 in there. I know we've went over this car before. So yeah, Bernard's working on that. Lyle's been working on the interior for this truck. Right now he's upstairs doing some boat seats. I'm not sure what we're waiting for on this truck now, but we do need to get it in the wheel off to finish the spacers off we talked about last week. The interior's looking pretty good. He did this whole sub box system while I was away, and he built these kick panels. That looks pretty cool. He still has the vent knob in here. So those are super cool. So yeah, let me grab my phone light here and try and get you some light on these. There you go. That looks pretty cool. Yeah, those blended nice. So it looks really nice. So that's what's going on there. And the Nova, so we had it in the air to weld up the frame connectors and stuff that weren't fully welded. So we did that, but we also found he had some body mounts that were rusty. Repaired a rusty spot here and here. Normally we'd replace the whole part, but the frame connector's welded in place of it, and it is fine up here. So he's just patched up what he needed to get the rust out. It looks like he's done that now. So the Nova should be done here soon. What you building right now?
Just making some plates for the bottom of the seats.
In this?
Through the floor, yeah.
Oh, some seat mount plates, okay.
Yeah, because it was just nuts and bolts.
Through the tin?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, pretty typical. People just bolt their seats in and don't think of the repercussions of bolts just pulling through the floor. So normally you'll have these little plates like he has, and they'll have a couple spot welds and they just hold them to the floor. But yeah, so let's see, where's this? So yeah, this isn't even coming through a spot. That's very good. And then here, yeah, so just janky situation. Up front it looked like it was going through a doubler right here, but that's about it. So one of 3 bolts was going through the actual doubler, so that's good. Make it safe at least. Perfect. Pretty funky oil pan on these things. So there you go. That's a quick walk through the shop. Now that we're back and I'm kind of up to speed on things, and I'm not sure if I walk through the showroom since we've brought the last car here. So let's just do a quick showroom walkthrough here. We got the Citroen here now. So we got all the cars here. So I've done a bunch of walkthroughs, but we'll do one quick more. We got the Citroen, the T-Bird, the Vespa scooter that they crashed into the garbage can, the Merc, the Ford Galaxy, the Edsel, which I've said before is wrong. If you're new to the channel, you can look and figure out what's wrong with this vehicle and let us know in the comments. One guy already has, they figured it out right away. And there's also the wrong license plate, but do you know what that license plate's actually for? So maybe you can figure that out too. Somebody else spotted that out and commented what it's for in a past video. So figure it out. Maybe you have to watch the last video. And then the Impala, of course. And then my favorite, the 55 Chevy, Harrison Ford's ride in the movie. And then the 32. So yeah, that's about that in the showroom. We've added some things in the showroom since a couple weeks ago. We've picked up some more signs, a little bit more part orientated bases, like performance part versus just cars. So we got some NOS stuff, some Eldebrock stuff, some Holly stuff, Mallory, Holly LS Fest. We got some Hurst equipped badges people used to put on their cars back in the day. Some cars came with those factory if they were Hurst equipped. Some fender covers that are actually like sticker bombed, so it looks like the whole cover's sticker bombed. Some cool Holly intake keychains with a beer bottle opener on it. Piston GM piston keychain. Some sticker packs from Holly. All sorts of different little things we've added. More Holly signs down there. Some more stickers over there. And we got some of these hats in, so not something you're probably going to sell many of this time of year, but they had a few. We picked them up. So we got the Eldebrock ones, and then we got the Holly ones. Change that up a little bit. So yeah, just some neat stuff for people when they're driving by if they want to purchase something cool. And then of course all the shirts I've showed you before. And then we've added some neon clocks over the last few weeks as well. So a little bit of stuff going on here. But anyway, there you go. That's your update for Tuesday. Just down at the body shop, we got all hands on deck to get the Team Wolf van done. We have 14 days before we're on the road with this thing to California. So yeah, just going over things with Brandon and Kevin and the team over here. So everybody's working on that right now, and the Isetta. The Isetta is coming as well. We'll go in and take a look at that in a second. But we've had to do the damage to the vehicle, which is always fun when you're at the body shop and we got to damage the vehicle to make it look like the vehicle in the movies. So there's quite a few vehicles we've done this way where we've had to damage them. So that's what they're doing. So same with over here. But you got to try and mimic what they've done in the movie, and then when you don't know exactly how that vehicle is damaged, most likely this was it drove into a pole. So when we hit that with a hammer, of course it split open and you had to bodywork it to make it look like it got hit by a pole. So the inside's getting all cleared out as well. And yeah, there's upwards of 5 people working on this thing at one time here to to get it ready. So we'll just walk around a little bit, show you what's happening.
And then so there'll be not a routine seal will come up. They might cause us problems later, but I don't think.
Well, yeah, that's what's happening. Just trying to make it look the best we can without doing a full restoration. And we'll see how that looks. But let's head into the booth here and take a look at the Isetta. I'm just gonna ask where they're at with it before I get in there and disturb anything. All right, so just gonna pull the plastic off. So there she is. It's got the two-tone. So is it just base clear white then?
Single stage white.
Oh, it's single stage. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. So we'll deal with a little run and then put her back together. So it's getting close. As you see, the van's looking pretty good. Got a bunch of guys working away on it, and girls. Yeah, their plan is to get it into primer, I think, by tomorrow, which is a good step to be at. And again, we're not building a show vehicle, we're building a movie prop vehicle, replica. It would cost at least $500,000 to restore that van to, you know, proper standards and quality that we're used to for, you know, show cars and whatnot, right? So going against all the rules to just make it a show, like a prop replica from Teen Wolf, and that's all it needs to be, because it's not getting stored in a climate controlled area when it's done. It's going to be out in the rain at the farm, or at most maybe under a cover, but anyway, it's not worth that type of restoration. And if they were to go that extensive, they would make sure they had the exact van. This one's a 1200 or 1500 series, I think, instead of a 1200. It's not even supposed to be a dually. It's supposed to be a few feet shorter, things like that. So anyway, it's still going to look the part real well. It looks really cool already coming together, so we're all happy about that. Just going to drive around the old shop, just seeing some stuff going on. Thought I'd see what's actually going on. So cutting some things over here. Oh, they must be putting in a compound for the tires. I complained about that before. Yeah, that's what they're doing. It just looked like a mess all the time with tires everywhere. So now that the landlords have to clean it up every day, I guess they decided to spend the money. But I did see a rezoning application up on the property adjoining, so I don't know what's happening there. If they need to zone the house to something different to make it saleable with the property, because the shop here is pretty much useless without that compound in the back. So yeah, it's been a nightmare, the tire situation out here. So makes sense they're finally going to do that. And yeah, and I just remembered the guys up front here owe us money and they're avoiding our calls, so I'm going to see if they're there, because that's no good. Oh yeah, they're definitely there. So anyway, talk to you soon. All right, well, I got all the complaints. They haven't been busy. They've done one transmission job and one brake job in 3 weeks, and blah blah blah. Well, they've owed us the money a lot longer than 3 weeks. It's been months. So yeah, anyway, there's a rezoning of these two properties together. I can see on the sign there. So I was just kind of curious what that was about, but anyway, just yeah, weird being by the old shop. I don't come down here often enough, I guess, anymore. Yeah, so they must have to rezone it for some reason. Light industrial. Oh, I see. Yeah, I kind of thought that was goofy when I was dealing with the zoning for the new shop. It was zoned for industrial, like M3, and it was technically wrong, but it's all figured out and done. And then here, yeah, so this is from M1 light industrial to CSM, service commercial industrial zone, to permit commercial uses. Probably has to do with more of the house than it has to do with the shop, because he's trying to sell them together. So I think it probably has more to do with the house than the shop. But anyway, what I was saying when I was talking to the city, though, they were saying, as I looked up the maps that show you all your zonings, and I said, well, where we're at right now isn't zoned correctly. He's like, yeah, it changed, but because you're already there, it's okay. And then that's when it opened up to, well, what they've been doing at the shop we're at now is basically the same. We just don't sell parts, but they were building cars there since he's built that building. They just did it in the back, and they didn't advertise it as a retail thing. So, and they had proof of that, so it was easy enough, and just things moved around from unit to unit is all. And then I was like, well, this isn't even right. And he's like, yeah. Anyway. So anyway, that's about that. On we go, back to the new shop.